Goals 18-102. 7 goals up on Collegians, who are 7-18-60.
We don't know who.
Played 28 minutes gone. So here it is with Lake. Kick in from Hinchin. Lake now takes a couple of bounces. Left foot kick out wide. Good use of the body there by Pollock. Pollock now breaks away from his opponent there in Bryan, who kicks it out wide to the half forward line. Plenty of pressure there. Good tackle there by Walker. The ball's still there.
Phillips.
I think it was Phillips. Phillips now hooks it in. Here's Davidson. Gets it up nicely to Galbraith. Galbraith from 50 metres in. Drills it into the open goal square. It's running towards the goal, but hits the post as Jeremy Nichols goes back to try and save the day for Old Melburnians. And Collegians kick there. 19th behind. 7-19-61. Old Melburnians 14-18. 118, I should say. 102. And that's on the Vic Health Dental Health Services scoreboard as Usinoff marks the kick in.
And he had 2 or 3 options to kick in then, Witch. So again, all day they've been doing this very well. Usinoff gets it inboard to Stuckey. Stuckey comes down the ground looking for Brommel. It's punched forward. It goes through the hands of Micah Berry. Thompson, Cam Thompson that is, picks it up, feeds it back to Brommel. Brommel tries to chip it short to Smith. Smith overruns it. Webb picks it up and he's a chance to put it forward. He does so. Good interception by Keneally. Keeps the ball in play. Runs onto the far side. Bounces once. Kicks it out wide to a guy from Collegians who has an enormous amount of space in Kerr. Kerr kicks it inboard and a great mark taken by Jimmy Bennett as he's crashed to the ground by Robert Walker. Legitimately, and it's hurt Walker. He's got him in the nose. Bennett stands up and will kick the ball out to the far side. A pack of players up. Witts follows on his work. It goes back through traffic, kicks out defensively, looking for the boundary line, the sanctuary of the boundary line, and that's exactly what he finds, ahead of the running David Kerr. And Leah Gallagher will throw it in on the far side in front of the Manifold Stationers sign as time ticks down, 29 minutes and 44 seconds. 14-18, 102 Old Melburnians, leading Collegians 7-18-60 on the Vic Health Dental Health Services scoreboard. From the ball in, Davison picks it up. Schober feeds it out to Galbraith. Galbraith kicks it towards the square. Schober is up there, so I've called him twice in passage of play. He must have covered 45 metres miraculously. So obviously it was a wrong call. It goes off Schober's hands and goes over the boundary line. At least we're honest here, Joss, and acknowledge our mistakes.
Yes, always been a very honest man, Mike, so pleasing to see, admitting to one of your rare errors, as there's a boundary throw in 10 metres or 20 metres out from the Collegians goal. Big pack of players down there at the moment. No, there is the siren. Old Melburnians, A-section premiers in 1994, and thoroughly deserve their victory and their premiership here today. They've had a great season. Commiserations to Collegians, who battled against the odds today, and Old Melburnians have run out victors by 42 points. Old Melburnians 14-18, 102 have defeated Collegians 7-18-60. As Roger Ellingworth moves onto the ground to congratulate his players. The Collegians players disappointed, but the Old Melburnian players can celebrate, and as Mike said, they will sure celebrate long and hard into this week, and it's been a terrific performance from them today.
It certainly has. They had clearly won the second semi, perhaps not as impressively on the scoreboard as they won in every other department on the day against Collegians, and here they have repeated that again today, winning by 42 points. In fact, they went back to what they had led the game by at half-time, when we thought it was clearly one-way traffic in the first half. A good fight back by Collegians in the third quarter, but they run out of legs and run out of goal-scoring forwards. That's where I think they let themselves down today. 7 goals, 19, 61 to 14 goals, 18, 102. Obviously, Old Melburnians have kicked 7 goals more than Collegians. Collegians with only 7 goal kickers, or 7 goals kicked for the day, is where they let themselves down. Some of these statistics, McMullen kicked 4 goals for the victors, 2 goals to Stephen Smith, the full forward, and 2 goals to Richard Webb. 2 goals also to Micah Berry. Singles to Stuart Griffiths, Andrew Thompson, and Zani Usinoff. Very late in the game, was used only sparingly today off the interchange, Usinoff, but he kicked that goal. To the Collegian side, 3 goals to Damien Phillips, who acquitted himself quite well at both centre-half forward and full forward, and spent a little bit of time off the ground when they were trying to change around their side and find a winning formula. And singles to Steve Lawson, first goal they kicked, Richard Schober. It's probably a bit disappointing the number of goals Schober's kicked today. And I know he played with a broken nose after an altercation last week late in the day. But I think we expect a lot out of Shobes, and today Collegians were expecting perhaps a few more goals than one from Richard Schober if they had a chance. Christian Davison kicked a goal, and so too did Michael Lake. So the end result, we see 14 goals, 18, 102, 42-point victors to OMs, 7, 18, 60. And the umpires today, of course, were Peter Gersh and Wayne Hinton, both experienced A-grade umpires, and they would have enjoyed the opportunity of running around today, and they umpired very well indeed. Boundary umpires Leah Gallagher and Jeff Wright, and the goal umpires Ken Pitcher and Bernie Hoare. And you're listening to this broadcast on Southern FM 88.3. Well done to all of them. And as they're about to make some announcements, we're going to be going back to the studio. But before we do, we might steal a little bit of thunder here and announce that the winner of the Jock Nelson medal, before it's announced on the ground, the Jock Nelson medal is named after Jock Nelson, probably one of the most decorated players to play amateur football. Played 280 games for Melbourne High School Old Boys, represented the VAFA from 1957 to 64. He captained carnival teams in 62 and 64, and section best and fairest winner in B section in 59, in C section in 60, in B section in 61, in A section in 64, and again in 65. And so the medal that was struck last year is named in recognition of Jock Nelson, and the winner today for the Jock Nelson medal will be the captain of Old Melburnians, Jeremy Nichols. So congratulations to Jeremy. That'll be acknowledged on the ground very shortly. We'd like to thank Southern FM for their support in this broadcast, and everybody back at the studio, and their technical panel here, and the producer John Kelly, and Wayne in charge of all the technical details, and Daryl Pittman chairing it all back there this afternoon. And we've thoroughly enjoyed the opportunity to once again have a direct broadcast of the VAFA Grand Final here from Elstonwood Park, the home of amateur football. Again, the reminder that Old Melburnians is victorious this year, first time for 39 years, and I'm sure all the Old Melburnian players are to be congratulated, and they will celebrate long and hard into this week. From Elstonwood Park, it's Mike MacArthur-Allen, and on behalf of Mark Anderson, who called this afternoon, and Jeff Riley, who stood in for Benny Goodman, we'd like to thank everybody for supporting us. And a final cheerio to Brian Benny Goodman. We hope he's back on his feet as quickly as possible. Sorely missed today, and I'm sure he would have loved the opportunity to commentate on the game. But he knows it was handled with great aplomb by Jeff Riley, and without doubt, this has been the most enjoyable season of amateur football. Congratulations, OMs. And Daryl Pittman, and back at the Southern FM studio, it's over to you. You'll be listening to this broadcast today on Southern FM 88.3.
Another medal for this guy. He got one for us at the carnival this year. Number 30, Ian McMullen. Number 4, Paul O'Brien.